Welcome to the My House Podcast, a show about the past, present, and future goings-on at the My House Youth Drop-In Center in Wasilla, Alaska, with your host, Michelle Overstreet. So, Brad, you've been at TNR for a couple of years now, is that correct?
5, coming up on 5.
Wow,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, not quite day one, but pretty close. You've been there for a lot of big growth over the last couple of years. What do you do over at True North Recovery?
So I am the lead counselor at Vita Nova, our residential treatment facility.
Okay, and so you've been doing that for a while, but what we wanted to have you come on here and talk about for it being Recovery Month is kind of the special project that you've had going for a little bit now, and I'm not sure the length of time. I'm going to learn with the audience. So we have a collection of books here directly to my left. I've read one or two of them now, but they are children's books, or written at least like children's books.
Yeah.
But they are stories or kind of are in reference to all graduates from Vita Nova. Is that correct?
That is correct.
So when did this start? How did you get this idea? Like, walk me through the process of like the very first one and how you got started in this.
Sure. Yeah, I appreciate you asking that. So it started a few years ago. We have graduation ceremonies at Vita Nova when a client completes, and so I like to do different things to try and make that day a little more special and memorable for each of the clients that are on my caseload. And at one point I had a young man getting ready to graduate, and so I was contemplating what to do for his ceremony. And the weekend before, I was thinking and praying, and like a bell ringing in my head, write his story as a children's story. And I felt divine inspiration, and so I thought, okay, how does that look? What is that going to be? And so I sat down that Sunday afternoon and wrote this story of Adam, a cranky koala. And I didn't know how it was going to be received because, I didn't want anyone to think that I was making light of addiction or trauma or anything. So I didn't want it to be like, oh, he thinks this is this is child's play. I didn't want that at all.
Right.
And then also in recovery settings, there can occasionally be a bit of a rough crowd. So how are they going to take being read a children's story?
Sure.
And just a few moments in, a paragraph or two into the story that I wrote for Adam, and I looked up. I was a little bit nervous because of the things I mentioned, and I look up, and here is this just, incredibly brave guy, and he is just weeping as he's listening to what I've written. Wow. And then I look out at the rest of the folks in the program, and they're just locked in and intent. And so I was overwhelmed by the positive response to it, and I thought, wow, there's something here. This is God ordained.
Yeah.
And so from there, I would occasionally, and still do, occasionally for clients, when inspiration strikes, I'll write a story for a graduation. I had accumulated several, I don't know, maybe a dozen or so, and I just felt like there could be something more with this.
Yeah.
And so I asked, and I kind of poked and prodded a little bit about, what about writing children's books that discuss trauma and addiction on a child's level to plant seeds at an early age?
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't get a whole lot of response right away. So I was like, well, even if it's just for the graduation ceremonies, they serve a purpose.
Yeah.
And I love them, and the clients certainly appreciate them. And so it was December of last year, 2024, that this just stirred back up in me to try and come up with something to do with these. So I reached out to our CEO at True North Recovery, Carl
Mm-hmm.
Soderstrom,
Yep.
sent him one of the stories and told him what I was thinking about it. He loved the idea. And so then he included Caitlin, our chief clinical officer. And so we just started having conversations, and we had a meeting, and all of a sudden this thing starts getting legs and building traction for writing children's books.
Yeah.
And they were both super supportive and encouraging. And what I didn't realize was Caitlin has a background in education.
Oh, wow.
And specifically with people who write materials for children.
Yeah.
So I didn't realize like I had hit the jackpot.
I have a lot of questions about the process, but before, you're talking about that first time that you had read one of these at graduation about a client. What do you think it is about the recovery community, the like residential treatment process, that makes this medium of a children's story about someone effective at creating those emotions and really expressing a message of recovery to someone?
Yeah. And I believe it is because the vast majority of addiction is trauma related,
Mm-hmm.
and most of that trauma occurs in childhood.
Right.
And so there's just that connection, and that's what led me to want to have these children's resources for kids who, whether their parents, their siblings, classmates, or they themselves get caught up in a life of addiction, that they know that there is help and that they know that there is hope, and having those seeds planted at an early age. Because thinking to myself, I thought, what if these folks I'm working with now had these types of resources? Could things have played out differently in their lives? Would they have sought help earlier? Would they have gone down that path to begin with? And of course we can't know that, but just having the resources available. And yeah, this is a goal and a dream coming to fruition for sure.
So you said you have, is it like a dozen now in total that are in book form?
No.
Okay.
So I have, I think about 17 stories written. And so with these four, the four individuals, and these are the origin stories of real life superheroes, in my opinion. And
Okay.
these are real people. And so I've been able to follow up with them and get their permission to tell their story in this way. And so all four of these individuals, in addition to successfully completing treatment, are now working in the recovery field themselves.
Right.
Which is, to me, that's like, that is like a bonus that money can't touch. It's just like seeing that is just an incredible blessing and a gift to see these people move forward and use their stories to help impact the lives of others and make changes. It's been just nothing short of awesome.
So with, when you do I guess my next question as far as process goes is, how do you know for someone's graduation, and we've just had a couple, here with the youth treatment program with Jeff's Path, and so that was really my first introduction into what does like a graduation ceremony look like for residential treatment, because it's a big milestone, right? Yeah. How do you know that that, hey, this is a person where I'm going to do this for them, and then to follow up on that question, what does your like writing process look like when you do make that decision?
Sure. It is, that's a great question. Inspiration strikes, and I'll continue to lean on divine inspiration for sure, and I'll take all I can get. And occasionally I've had some clients request, and so but I let them know that I don't write them for everyone. It's helpful if they're on my caseload, because then I know more of their story to tell.
Sure.
But I've written a couple for clients who weren't on mine, but I got to know through other groups and different things, and was able to put something together. And so, yeah, I can't just, there's a connection with the client, especially when they're on my caseload, where I can start to envision some things with them, and then I'll put it together, and it's usually happens the weekend before their graduation ceremony, and just sit down and I come up with animals. I like alliteration, and so Jason Jaguar and Dakota Donkey, and then Salty Sally Salamander. Adams, he was the first one, and I was trying to think of an animal, but if you
it's like aardvark, and that's it. That's all I got.
Aardvark, ants, you can come up
axolotl.
There you go. See? But the thing with Adam is, I don't know if you've met him, you know him, he looks like a koala. He just looks like a big cuddle, and I couldn't get that out of my mind, and so I was like, as much as I like alliteration, he's got to be a koala, man. He's just this big koala bear, and so that's what started that one. And then I spend time in prayer, and then I crank up some great heavy metal and start the writing process.
So all 4 of these that are physical books now, these are all based off of a specific individual.
Correct.
And is that the case with all the ones that you write? They do have kind of a graduate in mind.
Yes.
Yeah. Really cool.
Yeah.
Really cool. So, and I want to give you time. I really want to give you time, and maybe we will do Adams just because that's the one we've talked about the most, if that's the one that you choose. But I think a really daunting thing for anyone that is considering doing something like this, and if you're in the treatment services world, I think this is a fantastic graduation present. We're just giving away hoodies right now. Yeah. So we're going to get there where we can give away children's books and stuff eventually, I'm sure. But this is a really cool and unique thing to present someone that captures kind of the strength of their journey, right? But I think for me, at least, illustrations, art, anything, not my thing.
Yeah.
But kind of to your point about a perfect storm, you guys were able to get around that in kind of a really cool way that allowed this project to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I ended up, the illustrations was my concern as far as cost goes. Mm-hmm. And so I had reached out when this thing started gaining traction. I reached out and I tried finding illustrators. And really what I was hoping for is someone who would have a passion for this project to get on board with me. Not that I wanted them to do it for free, but to do it at a reduced rate, maybe because the passion is there.
Art ain't cheap.
No,
you got to pay your artists.
Exactly. And so it would have been because of 13 fully illustrated pages, cover artwork, it would have been between $2,000 to $4,000 per book. And so I didn't have that sitting by handy. And like I say, I wasn't getting a lot of good feedback from people who were just grabbing this passion. So I found and started dabbling with AI, and found a program that worked really well hand in hand. I was able to use my stories, their artwork. And as you know, with AI, there's some imperfections that occur. And it's funny because I had some illustrators criticize me for that because I used AI. Oh yeah, well you see that, and that's why this looks like this, and I get it, and I don't want to take work away from anyone. I'm not trying to remove anyone or displace them, but these are books that wouldn't be written otherwise.
Exactly.
If I didn't have that tool. And there's plenty of other books out there like that they just wouldn't get written. And I don't feel like that's if you've got the tool, it's available and you can afford it. Why wouldn't you use it if you can't afford the preferred, which I would love to have. Maybe
there's someone out there watching this right now that would be able to do that.
Yeah. And
but
I would love,
this is to me, I saw that, and it's got, it's got the AI generated image look to it that you can kind of look for, but in my mind, I was just like, that's ingenious, because then the story for me is the easy part, right? Like not that that's easy and that writing's necessarily everyone's jam, but right. I wouldn't have any way to translate that to an actual hard copy. And I think that there is something special about, for those individuals, them being able to have a physical copy of this story that they can put on their shelf and show their kids and show their friends. And, I had found out about these because we had a staff member that was like, have you seen Brad's book? You got to go talk to Brad. Like, you got to see the books. And she brought in her copy of Cranky Koalas Can Change. And I was like, that's so cool. That's so unique. Awesome. So we have some time. Okay. If you're comfortable with it, not that, you can buy the book. Where can you buy the book? Maybe we should start with that before we go giving an audiobook away for free.
Yeah, that's okay. So you can purchase them right now. They're exclusively on lulu.com, LULU.com. And if you punch my name in the search box, you should see my books. There are a couple other Brad Alexanders in there, but you'll see, by the covers, you'll be able to tell
right.
what's mine. And I'm hoping here within the next couple of weeks to hear back about global distribution through Amazon as well as Barnes & Noble.
Oh, that'd be really cool.
Yeah, so I'm waiting on that. But so right now they're available there at lulu.com, and I'm waiting on a stitched together version of all 4 stories in one book. And so I'm waiting on my proof copy for that to condense everything and then make it a little more cost effective to get all 4.
Yeah.
So
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, if you're comfortable with it, how do you feel about doing a live audiobook recording?
I am comfortable with it. As long as you're good with it.
I'm good with it.
As long as the audience is.
Let's do it. I think Cranky Koalas is,
okay.
these are all going to fall down. No, that's okay.
Yep, like the dominoes. and Cranky Koalas is standing. So we'll grab Cranky Koalas. All right. Cranky Koalas Can Change. Adam the koala lived in sunny Florida, but always felt cranky. Sometimes he scowled at playful parrots and frowned in the most pleasant of weather. Adam wasn't just cranky because he was in Florida. He was cranky all the time. You see, Adam was hurt by bad things done to him by other koalas. Animals in the surrounding area whispered about him, saying unkind things. Their words made Adam feel even worse. Soon, he started to hang out with the mischievous animals who liked causing trouble. We can make those bad feelings go away, they promised. Adam tried potions and strange drinks. At first, it felt good. But later, he would notice, I still feel awful inside. He said, sighing deeply, and he thought to himself, maybe I just need more. The more he took and drank, the darker things seemed. He stopped caring about anything or anyone, just more of the potions and drinks. I don't know where our cameras are, so I'm gonna,
right there.
Okay, perfect. I'm trying to show you the illustrations. A time came when Adam met a gentle doe koala. She smiled sweetly and listened to him without judging. When he was with her, the pain faded like mist. They spent afternoons nibbling eucalyptus leaves and laughing together. I forgot how to smile, Adam said, grinning. He felt bright and cheery and didn't think about potions, herbs, or strong drinks. Could this be what my life is supposed to feel like? He wondered to himself. Finally, Adam felt the joy and warmth he never knew possible. He shared his hopes and dreams with her. This was what he had been searching for. This was who he was searching for. One day, Adam got horrible news. His newfound friend and love was in a terrible accident. She was gone, and as quickly as she was taken away, the pain and sorrow returned. Adam couldn't stop feeling sad and lonely. On top of losing his best friend, the wounds from his past came back. He tried more potions, herbs, and strange drinks. Nothing helped. The sadness stayed. His koala family watched with worried eyes. Adam was sinking deeper and deeper with no escape in sight. He stayed away from his family and friends. He wanted to be alone. He didn't want to feel anything. Adam, please let us help you, Mama Koala pleaded. His brother and sister hugged him gently. Papa Koala wiped a tear from his eye. Maybe there's hope in a new place, they softly said. There's a place in the last frontier. It's called Vita Nova. That means new life, and it's especially for hurting critters like you. Adam said, I don't want to see you worry and cry anymore. I'll give it a try. Don't just do it for us, Papa urged. Do it for you, son. You are worth it. Soon Adam was on an airplane, leaving the Sunshine State and heading to the last frontier. He believed this was his last chance. Heather Hummingbird met Adam at the airport. Welcome home, she said in a chipper voice. Home, Adam said. This is the farthest away from home I've ever been. She sure was a happy hummingbird, Adam thought to himself. She probably wouldn't be so happy if she knew my story. I'll just stay quiet and cranky. Heather led Adam to a cozy place called Vita Nova. Inside, friendly animals greeted him with smiles and waves. That's Joel Jackrabbit, Brendan Bison, and Sharon Sharpay, introduced Heather. Tita Turtledove fluttered in, cooing with kindness. Seth the seal slid over with a cheery, welcome aboard. Adam was amazed by so many welcoming faces. Brandy Bulldog, the program director, offered a firm paw. We're so glad you're here, Adam. Adam felt hope spark inside. Adam soon met his counselor, a bristly badger called Brad. Brad seemed calm and sipped tea quietly. Adam thought, can a badger really help a koala? Brad smiled kindly and listened to Adam's worries. Everyone can heal with help, Brad said warmly. Adam wondered if it could be true. Give us a try, encouraged Brad. Adam agreed to stay and try. Deep down, he hoped for change. All the critters in this place were being nice to him. They seemed to like him. Wait till they learned what he had been through and all that he had done. No one would like him anymore. Adam met animals just like him, each trying to heal. There was a prickly porcupine who hurt herself with her own quills, a giraffe whose head hung low, an owl who lost his wisdom, and a Dalmatian puppy whose wagging tail and excitement could get annoying. Adam even met a giant buffalo who kept banging his head into a post. At first, he didn't want to talk to anyone. No one gets me, he grumbled. But the other animals shared their stories. Slowly, Adam started to listen. He realized they all just wanted to feel better too. On a spring afternoon, Adam argued with the prickly porcupine. You don't know how I feel, Adam snapped. Maybe I do, replied the porcupine gently. Adam stomped off, feeling angry inside. Why am I always so mad? He wondered aloud. Later, Brad Badger offered him some tea. Perhaps you're really mad at yourself, Adam, Brad suggested, and Adam thought deeply about Brad's words. That night, Adam realized he didn't like himself. If I don't like me, he said softly, why would anyone else like me? The cranky koala started finding things that he liked about himself. The cranky koala started exploring things to like about himself. He was smart. He cared about others. He was great at climbing trees. He was compassionate. He loved his family. Adam found lots of things to like about Adam. Adam started to try new things at Vita Nova. He joined group talks and shared his feelings. We care about you, Tita Turtledove told him. Brendan Bison encouraged Adam to keep going. Joel Jackrabbit said, it's hard work, but you're worth it. You can do it.
Adam started feeling a bit lighter and brighter each day. He enjoyed games and activities with no potions, only the company of his new friends. He even helped Seth Seal organize events for the group. For the first time, Adam smiled for real. Hope beamed in his heart. Real change was happening. Adam imagined himself playing on the beach with friends back in the Sunshine State. He was really coming back to life, the darkness fading like a shadow.
After many days, Adam's turn to graduate arrived. He healed and began to love himself, something he had never done before. He found new life, the life he was created to live. Everyone cheered and hugged him. Adam felt thankful for his Vita Nova friends. "Will you go back to Florida?" asked Sharon Sharpay. Adam thought about it for a long time. He knew he loved his family there, but Vita Nova felt like family too. Adam decided to stay and help others find hope. Everyone cheered even louder. Now, Adam spends his days serving animals in need. He added some touches to his new home that remind him of Florida. It looked bright and colorful in the summer months, but Adam can illuminate anyone's day, no matter the season. He shares his story with kindness and care. It's okay to ask for help, he tells them. He helps animals feel welcome and when they arrive. Adam works closely with Brad Badger and Heather. Together, they make Vita Nova a home for healing. Adam shows others they are never alone. Day by day, hope keeps growing. He smiles more than ever before. Adam isn't cranky anymore. He's kind and caring. His old friends visit and see how much he's changed. Sometimes Adam misses his special doe koala. He remembers her with a happy heart. He writes letters to his family in Florida. Adam knows he belongs at Vita Nova. He helps others find new life and hope. Adam believes anyone, even a cranky koala, can change, and he keeps spreading smiles one day at a time.
Brad, thank you so much. Cranky Koalas Can Change.
They sure can.
One more time, where can folks see the books?
They can find them at lulu.com. It's LULU.com. And just go to the top right. You click on that stack of pancakes, and you can find their bookstore and just type my name in.
And if you want to meet and talk with Brad, you can do so this month for Recovery Month at Black Birch Books, September 25th at 5:30. That's the last Thursday of this month. And I'm assuming that you will have some copies of those potentially as well.
Have copies of books available. And yeah, I want to, I'll have some available they're going to be free for the kiddos.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Brad, thank you so much for joining us today.
Hey, thanks for having me on, Isaac.
That's all the time we have today. The My House podcast is recorded at the My House studio in Wasilla, Alaska. Our producer and editor is Ozzie Keener. For Michelle Overstreet, I'm Isaac Smolden. Until next time.